That's all good. Go ahead, do your thing. Lock in, brother.
All right, my boy.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. First carry down for Rex Burkhead. And he'll be the 20 after a gain of just 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play action. Mills. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Play action now. Mills. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Take it in at the 3. And they're going to have lousy starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 6-yard line.
Ready? Hey, Alpha. Yep. Hey, squad who? Hey.
A man coming off a washout 2021. It's Travis Etienne. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Lawrence. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So this defense, they get their first interception of the game, and since they were in plus territory, didn't have too terribly far to go, but they take it all the way into the end zone.
And you intercepted in that close, you're automatically picking 6 points the other way, but what I liked most about it was how the defense rallied, got up on their blocks, and didn't commit any penalties as well.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Jerry Hughes on the stop. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Lawrence. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's good for a Jaguars. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll run with ETN. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 and 10-7. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now to Mechie on the jet sweep. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
(10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second and 11 now. Working out of the gun, Mills. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
On the return, here's Agnew. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. ETN up the middle. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. For the defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They go play action with Lawrence. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get into the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A first down there on a pickup of 25. First and 10, it's Pierce. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here's Pierce. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They go again with Pierce. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Hey, Hayward!
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, Charlie!
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Texans will take over. Elsewhere, a score update for New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mills caught on the right side by Dorsett. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Complete to Dorsett. A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Mills now from the 50. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Pierce. He's got the first down and more. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Texans. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. This one caught by Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he is going to have the Jaguars first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Oh, he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line. And they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far. And that's going to be how this first half will come to an end. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll run with ETN. And some space here. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 26. 60 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Another tote for ETN. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Lawrence. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Pierce now up the middle. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
In motion goes the tight end. On second down, here's the option. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Lawrence to throw. Open man left side. It's a tight end, Manhertz. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Back to the ground with Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jaguars get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point try now for Patterson. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
64 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Another carry for Pierce. Down to about the 32. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do.
Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Ready?
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. On 1st down, Lawrence. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Christian Harris brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. After the sack on 1st down, Lawrence. He'll get that underneath Etienne. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Lawrence. And now here is another interception. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you. and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll go right back to Pierce. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A run for Pierce out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. Over the middle, Dorsett. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man is Kirk, complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And one more time, here's Kirk. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Finds his tight end Ingram. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Jaguars.
Lawrence. Across the middle and into the hands of Ridley. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. A final shot now for Lawrence. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Texans, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning